Welcome to Trivia Club.
And now, deep thoughts.
Hey everyone, and welcome to the Deep Thoughts on SNL podcast, an SNL review and discussion show. With me today is Brian Edwards. Say hi, Brian.
Catchphrase.
Leah Sueko.
Yeah, that's me.
Did I pronounce it correctly?
And
Russel Harder. Russell is here.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen.
Russell is actually the godfather of the Toronto Trivia Club, which spawned the SNL Fantasy League that this podcast is spun off from. So for those who don't follow the SNL Fantasy League, it's exactly what it sounds like. Take a football or baseball or hockey fantasy league, and instead of using players, use SNL cast members. Every week, people are awarded points based on the screen time of their drafted cast members, as well as special points for things like swearing, singing and dancing, showing up on Weekend Update, etc. Is there anything you want to add to that description, Russell? Is that on board?
Don't forget the nudity.
Oh, yeah, points for nudity. There you go. Has anybody gotten the nudity points this season?
Brooks, didn't he?
Yeah,
Brooks
actually,
in, like his first episode.
Brooks' first episode, he got 50 points based mostly around the full frontal nudity that he had.
How much is nudity worth?
It's worth, it's a sliding scale, actually. So if a full frontal is the 20 point, the big one.
Wow.
But everything from like full frontal to like side boob, not side boob, but like
And
one
that's
boob, two
worth 4
boob.
sketches, right? Because
Exactly.
every sketch is like 5 points. Right.
Yeah.
And for the record, I told a friend about this league this weekend, and she both called it a actually really cool and also a nerd's wet dream. So I don't really know what to think.
It's kind of redundant, isn't it? That sounds like the same thing to me.
Everything that's really cool is a nerd's wet dream.
Sounds good.
I've actually heard, very good things about it as well. It's really gone better than I'd even hoped for when I first set it up.
We have friends of the show now. We've talked to Taron Killam and Noel Wells on Twitter.
That's right. Yeah,
And Kenan Thompson I went to high school with. So
Ugh. Keenan.
You have not gone to high school with Keenan.
you don't know.
This was all covered on the Test podcast that will never be released to the public. You did not go to high school with Keenan. Anyway, let's get started.
that is a slippery slope.
So this is the midway point of season 39. We're going to use it as kind of a launch-off point. So let's talk about the hosts so far. It's kind of been... There's been some weird selections I think we were all kind of agreed on. Part of the Fantasy League is that we all had to write down a list of hosts that we thought would host, or celebrities that we thought would host. And if they do end up hosting, we get extra points. And pretty much none of us have gotten almost any choices. Actually, Leah got a couple, right?
Yeah, because I'm amazing.
But nobody thought of Bruce Willis or Edward Norton or John... Actually, John Goodman was the very last choice out of like 50 or 60.
Yeah, out of 60.
And she made that about, I want to say, 2 or 3 hours after the draft, too.
Because you just had to disappear.
Exactly.
The person that we're talking about. Is it Sarah? Sarah Drafter?
Yeah, that would be, Sarah Suckett Trebek.
So how... That's her team name. So how have the hosts been this season, would you guys say? I think Tina Fey was kind of disappointing, we all thought.
Well, Tina Fey's was more about, I think, launching the newbies than anything else. She's kind of there as like the backup.
Mm-hmm.
It's true, yeah. Tina Fey and John Goodman really were those high expectation hosts that didn't really follow through as much as you thought they would.
Sorry, who'd you say? Rudd?
Oh,
John
Tina Fey
Goodman?
and John Goodman.
Goodman.
Rudd was actually,
Goodman was disappointing.
I really liked the Goodman episode. I don't know. I don't understand why. But
Can
I'm
I
sure
pause-
that
can I
every
pause it as to
episode
why?
you guys... Yeah, go.
Because it was Keenan heavy.
Yeah,
Oh,
God.
and that's why it wasn't amazing?
That was actually Keenan's 104-point show.
That was the episode where I yelled at the TV. Again, no one else could play a bartender in this scene. Episode.
Nobody
incredible.
else plays a bartender like Keenan.
Keenan has been playing a bartender for 10 years. He does have that skill set down.
God.
It's incredible, actually, because like 90 points is a big thing for a cast member to get, like individually.
Yeah.
Because we're talking 90 points is usually at least 2 or if not 3 times more than anything else. But 104 was crazy because it was more points just from Keenan then I think 3 or 4 other teams had that entire show.
Well, even
Every
I can't
cast
remember I can't remember the breakdown of sketches from that show, but if we're being generous, we can say that there's probably like 10 sketches per show, probably less than that.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
so just from that, it'd be like 5 points per appearance, and that's only 50 points. So he doubled that through special points.
Right. Special points, say, appearing in a video or singing and dancing, that sort of thing, yeah.
Now it is 30 points to play a bartender, correct?
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
It's a weird point system.
Yeah.
And-
Your point system, we do every once in a while. Somebody, mostly me, has a bone of contention where it kind of rewards being on camera more than actually doing quality work.
Oh, that's the tricky thing to do. You can't really guess, or it's a slippery slope if you're trying to judge off of quality as opposed to consistency.
Mm-hmm.
And especially if that was the case, I wouldn't be able to play. And damn it, I want to play in the SNL Fantasy League. Therefore, it's going to be something as straightforward as appearances or what they actually do on screen, not what we think about it.
Oh yeah, because you have to give out. What you're saying is you have to give out the points every week. So if it was based on quality, you would just be like, "Well, my cast members are Jay Farrow, and I thought he had an amazing week, you guys."
God damn it, that Bobby Moynihan is hilarious. 100 points.
There you go. Who else was? So there was
Started with Tina, and Miley was next.
Miley was all right.
That was a decent show.
I kind of forget everything except we did stop the government shutdown
Yes,
video because
yes.
that was in the best of.
I actually think Miley was better than Tina and actually better than Bruce Willis, who was after her.
Bruce Willis was fun though. SNL last week actually aired a best of the season so far special, and we'll get to it later, but one of the sketches was the boys' dance party.
Yes.
Which is kind of legendary already. At least
Yeah, it was pretty amazing.
And if I rewatched it, and this time I rewatched it just watching Bruce Willis, his terrible dance moves, like on purpose terrible,
it's so
in the
true.
background of the video,
It's perfect.
are amazing.
I actually have Boy Dance Party on my favorite video above doing it in the twin bed. I know it's a controversial choice, but...
No, I'd probably put Boys Dance Party above the Twin Bed.
I'd put Boys Dance Party way
The
above.
pre-tape stuff this season
I would
has actually been great in general, even without the Lonely Island. Or there was a streak of really sad ones last year.
Yes.
But this
Yeah, they
year-
didn't fall off. It was great.
This year between Good Neighbor, which is the sketch group that Kyle Mooney and Beck Bennett came from, and Matt and Oz, the Funny or Die team that does the kind of really splashy looking digital shorts.
Your high-quality cinematography.
Yeah. But we're kind of jumping around. So there was Miley
Bruce
Cyrus
was next.
Bruce Willis.
And then
Edward
Norton was next.
Norton.
I think actually Edward Norton was my favorite host for the season.
I can see that.
Really?
Yeah, I'm gonna go best like sketches all around, and I thought his was the best monologue for the season.
What was his monologue?
It was
Wasn't it-
when Alec Baldwin and Miley Cyrus came out.
I did not
Don't like
really like it as much. I think just because it was like bringing out Miley and bringing out Alec Baldwin just
I
didn't
did like
sell it
his-
as much for me.
I did like his joke where he was just like, I was asked to host 13 years ago. I asked Lauren, give me time to prepare. I've been waiting 13 years, and I have it all built up inside me.
I am ready.
I am ready. After that, it was Kerry Washington,
Yeah.
which actually
Fantastic.
she was great by herself, and that was probably my favorite episode. Actually,
Really?
maybe Fallon and Timberlake.
Really?
Actually, she's number 3 for me.
What did you not like about the Washington episode, Leah?
Besides
Besides hating everything good.
I don't particularly have a problem with that episode. I don't know. To me, it was a Miley Cyrus episode or a Tina Fey episode. It wasn't other than addressing. It had the really weird opening skit where Reverend Al Sharpton comes out and does the stupid live from New York. Where
But that's skipping past the funny part of it, which was
It was. Why would you
acknowledging
end
the
it
lack
with
of black female actresses on the
Yeah.
show.
They're coming in and out multiple times as different characters or as celebrities was fantastic.
Yeah, Leah, why do you hate quality?
I thought it was long and drawn out. I thought the premise was funny, and then they just went on with it way too long, and then killed it at the end by having Al Sharpton come out.
I mean, Kerry Washington, they also had the How's He Doing sketch about Obama.
Yeah, that was good.
See, I didn't like that sketch either.
They also had the What Does the Fox Say parody, which I thought was great.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah,
That was
good.
well done. Yeah, that was well done.
Okay, so Leah does like something.
It was better than the actual song.
Yeah, there you go. It was stuck in my head for days. The What Does the Fox Say I never cared for, and it never got stuck in my head, but that's
What
my
does my girl say? Mhm.
Yeah, it's my go-to version. It's like, what does my girl say?
I'm not saying Kerry Washington was a bad host. I just didn't think, like, the episode didn't do much for me.
She's not your number one.
What did you think of Lady Gaga, host and musical guest?
Nah.
That was the only episode I didn't rewatch because
Yeah.
why?
Yeah, that.
Well, and so after Lady Gaga, actually, I was saying around the time during our endless Facebook chat thread that Lady Gaga, for so long I was like, she just needs to get a sense of humor about herself, and then that was all that episode was, and I still was not impressed
Yeah.
with her.
No,
Yeah.
it did not work for me.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Having-
she was still my least favorite of all the hosts so far this
Absolutely.
season.
Well,
Yeah, not a contest.
I think Miley Cyrus has a sense of humor about herself. I think Lady Gaga wants people to think she has a sense
Yes.
of humor about herself while still being cool.
She didn't come off as game as like you Bruce Willis and and Miley Cyrus. That like they looked like they were ready
Bruce
to make
Willis
fun
was
of themselves.
surprisingly game.
And then
Considering
Bruce
his
Willis.
reputation, right?
Exactly.
Mhm.
Like Bruce Willis, he's in that boy dance party sketch alone. That shows you he's game for anything. But Lady Gaga,
He would
didn't
not
get
have done
that.
that for Kevin Smith.
no.
Bringing in the deep cuts.
Oh yeah. Does anyone know that reference? Probably not. Did
Trying
anybody
to-
watch that movie? I did.
I'm trying to remember the name
I
of
turned
that
it off. Does that count?
What was the name of the movie? Oh, it used to be A Couple of Dicks, and then it was changed to Cop Out
Cop
as a
Out.
Ugh.
a meta
Terrible
thing
title.
about how they had to drop the original title. Anyway, Josh Hutcherson.
This
Josh
at the
Hutcherson.
time was probably my favorite at the time.
It's
This whole
still my
episode.
number one of the season.
Yeah, he's up there.
Really?
Yeah, I'll tell you why. Even it might not even have beat
I feel
Jimmy
like
Fallon with quality alone, but just expectations. You
Yeah.
don't expect Josh Hutcherson to be as good as he was.
here's what I realized in retrospect. I think because there was no expectations of him, because he's also kind of a non-entity as a celebrity.
Right.
He's like
Yeah.
he doesn't even have like the media image of a Twilight star. He's just like, oh, he's that nice looking boy from Hunger Games.
Yeah, exactly.
But because nobody knows his personality or anything, they didn't have like a public image to play off of like they
Right.
did for every other celebrity. So it was just like strong sketch concepts all night instead
Yeah.
of, well, we have to do a parody of, let's have Lady Gaga play an old version of herself commenting on
Yeah.
herself.
The only thing they had to do was acknowledge Hunger Games, and they did that in the opening.
And then
And
after
I
that,
did
it
think
was
a
all
great
these.
opening.
After that, it was all these like just strong sketch ideas. Like the before the podcast started, we were all singing, "I just wanna live your love tonight."
Nice.
Yeah.
I think we harmonized pretty well on that.
Mhm.
I did not.
And the B-boy, what was the name of the B-boy sketch? The pre-taped
Oh
one
my
on
God.
the subway.
Oh, that's the note I
the
forgot
subway one
Yeah,
where
where
they
he's
lose
like
Peanut. He's little Peanut.
to. Little
Peanut.
Peanut.
Excellent use of Josh Hutcherson's lack of height. It was
Yes.
This is also probably the episode that might feature my favorite sketch of the entire season, which Rob did not like originally, and we'll find out if he likes it more on the second rewatch, the Baby Boss sketch.
I hated Baby Boss.
How did you hate Baby Boss?
Guys, I do not feel good about being on Leah's side about a sketch.
Okay, so it's me and Brian against you two.
Well, actually, hold on. I rewatched the sketch as
And it
part of
was
the
still
best of
awful.
this season, and I came to appreciate it more. I was bitter at the time because I believe that was right after. No, it was probably still a few episodes after, but I was still sensitive about having
Oh,
traded
Beck
Beck
Bennett?
to
Yes.
Leah for Kyle Mooney.
And then he proves he's just as weird, if not just quietly weirder than Kyle Mooney.
I went on a hunch, like after Kyle Mooney, one of those. I think the Miley Cyrus Good Neighbor sketch at the very end, where he's like all like, guys, she wants me to sleep with her. What am I gonna do?
Yeah.
I went on a hunch after that sketch that it was like, oh, he might actually carve out a niche, and
It's the weirdo.
so I wanted to do that trade before anybody wised up to
KG.
potential, and I don't know if it worked
feel,
out.
Rob, that you're really good at dissecting information that's given to you, but you're not good at going off of hunches with where the future will take.
I will take the compliment that I am good at analyzing information given to me, and I will pretend that I didn't hear the rest.
Speaking of analyzing information, I like that. A nice quiet pause. Speaking of, the numbers actually pan out between Bennett and Mooney. They're still pretty much head to head. I mean, Beck Bennett, his average is 26, and Mooney's is 22. But overall, that's not that big of a difference.
In the best of special, which we'll get to, Bennett is in there he has 35 points or something, and Mooney has 15, which is tied for Mike O'Brien, who does not actually talk at all in the best of.
Yes. O'Brien is the low on the totem pole when it comes to averages. He is definitely.
He was. I think it's fair to say he was a high priority draft for a bunch of people. Because
he was for me. Yeah, he was my first.
7 Minutes in Heaven.
Yeah.
And we figured that he was a writer for years, so he probably has some sort of writer's room characters that he could bring out or something.
Yeah. Right.
I can't remember.
Although, can I say that his digital short, Sam Investigates, where he follows the bugs around, I loved that.
He needs to do more of that.
Yeah,
he needs to do more of that.
So
that's his 7 minutes of heaven within the show.
Finishing off the hosts, we have Rudd, Goodman, and Fallon.
Rudd was fantastic. It's always fantastic.
Really?
Oh yes,
I loved it.
He was
a great episode.
I thought he was
top 5.
He was just as good as usual, but the episode was kind of weak.
I thought the episode was really weak.
No, I put that mid-tier overall episode, but as a host, higher than mid-tier for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Like the when he fanboys out over One Direction and that pre-tape sketch.
That was such a great
alone is fantastic.
Yeah, I did like that one.
And even though it was
the kids giving him the hate eye.
I liked that one.
The side eye. I hated that one. I'm just used to Leah saying she hates things.
only if you love them, and then it's the other way around.
Oh, there you go. And then and there was the Anchorman cast joining Nine Direction.
Yes.
I didn't like that. I didn't like it.
And there was a Bill Brasky sketch at the end.
I hated it.
There you go.
Horrible.
And all right, John Goodman. John Goodman was a really disappointing episode.
I love John Goodman. I did not like this episode because, as we mentioned before, too much Keenan.
You know who loved it? A.B.
Keenan did not ruin that episode. Okay, you guys are absurd. He did not.
You know who might have ruined that episode? Sylvester Stallone and Robert De Niro.
Painful.
You guys blocked that from your memory, didn't you? I brought it right back.
I kind of liked that one.
What is wrong with you?
The Three Wise Guys.
You remember the name of the sketch?
Hey.
This was, though, I like to point out, I don't know if Russell remembers this, but I'm sure he remembers it, but this was the episode that Taron Killam wrote back to him on Twitter and corrected his point tally on.
Do I remember it? Taron Killam is my new favorite accountant.
Friend of the show, Taron.
The man knows his numbers.
That was endearing.
He certainly is a friend of Trivia Club and a friend of the SNL Fantasy League. For life, for that.
And then Noel later on, they both, because you tag them when they're supposed MVP of the episode.
Yes,
and
supposed.
That, well, according to Russell's algorithms. But and then they both went through at least their own points and comments.
I know, I don't even read that thing. And Noel Wells went through it.
Yeah, we discovered today that Leah does not read Russell's recaps, which
I don't think Leah
lot of effort
reads.
into.
Full stop.
Unless there is someone here to read it to me, I am not going to read that. No.
But it was super endearing that they read their own. Because that's what I would do too. I would go like, "Well, how many points did I get? What do they think of me?"
They probably have more invested in it than I do. To be fair.
Just because you're Just because you're 7, 8?
I'm way down there because
you don't even check for the Kenan Thompson totals. I thought you lived through him vicariously.
Well, no, as a friend of Kenan Thompson, I do keep up with him, but, Noelle Wells, she's not on my team, she's not on my radar, And Taron, he's in every skit.
Noelle Wells is very hurt by that comment. She's listening to this podcast.
Not on your radar. You defended her in the podcast.
I did defend her, yeah.
She actually did the best of all the newbies. In terms of the best of.
Yeah, and overall, this season, she's got an average of 29 points per show. which puts her in the same league.
Let's actually just move into the best of. Fallon was good. We all know Fallon was good.
Fallon was
Can
great.
we just talk about Justin Timberlake's hair for a second?
You hate it, don't you?
No, it's probably the most magical thing in the universe.
Okay, that's the one thing we agree on. I have been trying to replicate that hairstyle.
Successfully, I might add.
Really?
Oh, yeah. This is why it's a video
I'll take
podcast.
that. It's unexpected, but I'll take it. Thank you. All right, so let's go to the best of. SNL, as we mentioned last week, aired a best of this season special. That was the official title, and it was a little confusing. It was 95% sketches from season 9, and then one sketch thrown in from season 38, the Girlfriend Talk Show with Anne Hathaway.
39.
Interesting choice. Yeah.
Probably because they couldn't think of another single good skit to put on, from this
They
year.
could have thrown in a Christmas sketch. Do people riot if there's a Christmas sketch in January?
Yeah, it's too topical.
I'm pretty sure they repeated
the sign language interpreter, that's timeless.
So the
That was
opening
actually
was
funny.
Obama and the Mandela Memorial sign language interpreter, and an appearance by Kate McKinnon as the German chancellor, councilwoman, something.
Yeah. The only part of that sketch I liked was Kate McKinnon.
Okay, McKinnon's killing it. Yeah.
Kate McKinnon is a
pretty
god.
awesome.
The monologue was Paul Rudd and the cast of Anchorman join Nine Direction, and they sing Afternoon Delight.
Really?
Yeah.
That was the monologue on the best of, yeah.
This is ruining my sandwich.
What was the best monologue of the season then?
I'm gonna go Josh Hutcherson or Ed Norton.
I like Hutcherson's, and I liked Kerry Washington, too.
What was Hutcherson's? I can't remember monologues. I can never remember monologues. What were Hutcherson's and
was
Washington's?
the Hunger Games.
What about the Hunger Games?
It was them drawing
the-
games, and that the new cast or the cast had to fight one another.
Really?
Yeah.
That was your favorite?
I liked it! Shut up!
That seemed like a rehash of... Didn't they do the same with, last season, The Voice, when Adam Levine hosted, and they were, auditioning
I would
cast
hope
members,
so.
maybe? And Kristen Wiig... No, Drew Barrymore and Andy Samberg came back as guest judges.
I'm
So
sorry
make it
you
not
find
good.
it derivative.
Fine.
Next.
And Washington was the cast members coming and asking her opinion on stupid shit.
Stupid shit.
And then Keaton came out and killed it by saying, he had blood all over his shirt. He was like, hey, hey. She's like, oh my god.
Your summary
We're
did
falling
nothing
apart.
to reinvigorate my memory. I have no idea what this monologue is about. All I know is that you found it really funny when Keenan came out with blood on his shirt and went, hey!
Which is Keenan in every sketch.
Aww.
Just delightful, isn't he?
So we established before, you did not grow up on Kenan Thompson on Nickelodeon, right?
No, he's like 7 years older than me.
You just enjoy him as a performer.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
A lot of people. He is a man of the people. People like Kenan Thompson. Everybody I know likes Kenan Thompson. It's
No,
just you
that's not true.
Canadians
How
who
many
don't.
how many
know
people do you
him.
know? Also,
Yeah,
we're
exactly.
people you know, and we.
Well,
don't
I
enjoy
didn't want to
Kenan
bring this
Thompson
up
as
because
much
it
as
sounds
you.
like I'm bragging, but I have like 74 Facebook friends,
Oh my
Nice.
god.
Nice.
and all of
Some
them
must
love
be
You don't get to that many Facebook friends without making a few enemies.
Oh, I actually made a list of people who do like it. You want me to read the list?
That social network reference fell flat completely. Anyway,
No,
go
I
on.
appreciated it. Did you?
Go on,
Speaking
Leah.
of social network,
Rob,
Rob.
unless people start clapping every time you make a stupid reference, you think people don't understand it. I'm
We
sorry.
understand.
Rob, did you
We
see
understand.
that social network spoof that Brooks Wheelan posted on YouTube? I think I sent it to you.
You sent it to me. I haven't seen it yet.
He basically made it a couple years ago. It was a social network spoof with Brooks Wheelan in the Andrew Garfield role. It's fantastic.
Okay. I will watch it.
Enjoy.
Yep. Leah, you were going to say something
No, I wasn't.
about Kenan Thompson.
He's married to a model.
He is.
Makes him funnier.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I don't think she's a real model, though. I looked at a picture of her, and I'm thinking she's like a catalog model or like a hand model, maybe.
No SNL cast members are ever going to talk to us again.
What does that mean? I mean,
You're
it's still a
insulting
model.
the wife of one of the cast members. She
No,
did
I'm
nothing
not.
to deserve this.
She's pretty, but like Cleveland pretty.
Oh God. Girl sketch. How about that girl sketch?
Girl sketch was next.
And there goes the entire city of Cleveland.
Girl sketch was next. Tina Fey guest starring as a foreign girl. Can't remember what country she was supposed to be from, but basically pointing out
Albania?
basically pointing out how dumb, probably Romania, pointing out how dumb Girls is.
Well,
Wouldn't even necessarily
Girls
say
in it.
dumb. But
Girls is dumb. I hate that show.
I do hate that show, fact.
Yay!
In terms of Girls, too, that really showed just how well Noelle Wells does as an impersonator.
That was
I
her
mean, yeah.
first. That was like her first thing in general, right?
Oh, yeah, her first appearance.
Russell, quit
Right.
sucking up to Noah Wells because you made fun of her impersonation of Allison Hannigan.
And
On
then
her
she responded
birthday.
on
her birthday.
and you tweeted at her, "Hey, Noah Wells, I hate your impression." And then she was
Verbatim,
like,
he's
"Please
actually
forgive
reading
me."
the tweet.
She used the words, "Please
He's reading
forgive me."
The tweet. She's a sweetheart. But I'm just saying, yeah. And the reason why she's number one on the featured players when it comes to points overall is because, yeah, she's killing it with the impressions. Yeah. She's the go-to even among the female cast members, let alone new cast members, when it comes to impressions like Lena Dunham on Girls.
Yeah.
To be fair, none of the other featured players could do an impression of Lena Dunham. She is the only girl.
She is, but I'm saying even the female cast members.
Yes, that's true.
The fact that they went to Noelle Wells.
Let's jump off that to go to a sketch that was not in the best of because I guess it was a Christmas sketch, but the twin bed sketch.
Ugh. Crime! I wrote down in huge letters, crime that this was not in the best of sketch.
Because it was so
So,
good. It was
the
so
best.
good. Music video were all the girls from the show who were a great second, I guess, like the second generation of the Faye, Poehler, Dratch, Rudolph, Wig dynasty.
Oh yeah, it's a brand new dynasty. It's fantastic.
A new dynasty of female performers on the show. They're so good.
Yeah.
Killing it.
Really good all together too. When they do the big group sketches with just the ladies together, it's fantastic.
And there's
like
not a weak link. Not a weak link.
No.
And they're in what Pussycat Dolls garb costume.
And the funniest to me, for some reason, I don't know why I'm saying for some reason, but A.D. Bryant in that one.
Yeah.
The baby Bryant and the... she has a cough. She got it from Gene. And it's a whole thing with Gene.
It's like a girlfriend's talk show sort of moment.
I thought that, when I thought at first about it, I like the pictures of them when they're in like grade school. It's like the best moment of that thing. But then I rewatched it again and I go, no, it's the whole thing with Gene that made me laugh probably harder than anything.
The way that she says it, like, out the side of her mouth, like, it's a whole thing with Gene right now.
Yes, how was this not on the best of? I do not know. It was the best sketch of the season.
It was so good. It was so good. So, yeah, the girls have been great this season.
Yeah.
Kate McKinnon and Cecily Strong. Cecily was a newbie last year, right? And then Kate McKinnon was 10.
I think they both were. I think Kate and Cecily are both.
Kate joined like really late season 37, didn't she?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So she had a few episodes. She did a Jason Sudeikis. She like joined with a few episodes left of the season, and then stayed on for a full season as featured.
Yes. Okay.
But they like have catapulted to like head of the list basically.
Oh yeah,
there's the list of girls. I know. Probably Farrow and Thompson and Killam are ahead of them in terms of
overall points,
screen time, and points and whatnot.
Indeed, yeah. But they're still in the top 4, if not 5, sort of cast members, and certainly the go-tos. Kate McKinnon's right there all the time, and Cecily Strong, even though she's in a shorter, a smaller role because of her Weekend Update co-anchoring, she's still, your go-to, like, straight woman, sort of non-crazy character that Kate McKinnon would otherwise go to.
So the next on the best of was, I thought, a weird choice, the Stranger Danger with Ed Norton. I love Nassim Pedrad in anything she does, any character she does, but as a sketch overall, this was the one where he was talking about don't talk to strangers.
Don't get in the van!
In the van with the candy.
That was actually one of my favorite skits of the season, so I can't...
I love Nassim Pedrad. It was kind of a one-joke sketch to me.
Exactly, yeah.
But you brought up the Washington how's he doing skit, and that was a one joke skit.
They had a bunch of little jokes in there. There was like the side discussion about like how good is the mail that these white people are getting. They are mad that they're not getting their mail, or they love their postman or whatever it was. No response.
No,
I disagree.
And then he talked about The Wire. The Wire talk on that sketch was amazing.
Yeah.
Like, people go up to him now, I love The Wire, as if that's, code to speak with black people. You just talk
and they're recapping episodes that aired years ago.
It's like someone told me about my life.
We're white. Except
Anyway,
for
back to class. Yeah, I thought it was a good sketch for Norton and for Pedrad, but overall as a sketch, I don't know why it was on the best of the year. Was it Bennett was one of the kids in there? I still mix up some of the new cast members sometimes.
No,
Bennett
Millheiser was.
Millheiser, that's it. Yeah, Millheiser always played because he has got that like petite frame to him, so he always plays those smaller, does impressions, and plays a kid well. Not, I thought he did well with that.
Except you couldn't remember who he was.
I always mix up him and Beck Bennett together for some reason.
Then there was Girlfriend Talk Show with Anne Hathaway from season 38.
Yeah, that was weird. Why would they include that?
I mean, it was a decent sketch.
But even have girlfriend sketches from this season that could have been.
I guess it's saying...
And the fact that it was the only sketch from season 38, it kind of is saying, this is the best sketch from season 38.
Yeah.
Or the best sketch from since January.
Or maybe somebody was playing a prank. It was a goof,
Explain this prank, Leah. Explain it to us.
Like a fuck you SNL, like someone got fired and they were like, I'm gonna put a piece of shit skit from last season in.
Someone got fired, but they're
Suck it,
so high up on
SNL.
the chain that they
You did
could
not enjoy
insert a
that.
sketch.
Lorne Michaels
to
came in and
show.
he's like, I'm going to have to fire you, but can you edit together this best of for me? And the
And
guy,
no one needs to look at it before it goes on air, right? No.
Well, they probably turn it off before that point, right? They're probably like, yeah, good. Everything seems to be in order here. Put it on TV. Put it in the machine that makes it go across the world.
So Leah, what was the reaction he was going for with this prank?
I think, like, understated deviance?
What does that mean?
Are you looking at a word of the day calendar you got for Christmas?
I feel like you guys ask
It's not
me
a word of
that
the day,
every
it's the
single
phrase
time.
of the day.
She's
It's
playing Mad
understated
Libs.
deviance is the entire
Mad Libs.
phrase that she has to work into conversation.
It's a game I play with myself. Yeah, where it's just like, oh, are they going to even notice this?
I don't know what this is reference to. I took notes watching each sketch for things I liked or didn't like, and I wrote down for this sketch, Steakhouse. Can someone explain to me why I wrote that down?
Cecily Strong's backstory. She's like, my boyfriend is kind of
Oh,
weird.
yes.
He takes me to a steakhouse, and he doesn't sit with me. I don't know why my impression of Cecily Strong is Southern.
Southern woman.
That's definitely
relate
the
to.
science that
He
you're
lets me
doing.
watch. He watches me eat a steak, and then in the parking lot, he pulls up to me and he pulls down the window, so I just see his eye, and he says, "Thanks for letting me watch you eat that strip loin." My boyfriend's crazy. That did elevate the sketch, just that tangent.
Yeah, I had 80 exclamation point then Steakhouse. Incomprehensible.
Yeah, I took notes of my own, and they're all pretty much. I have no idea what any of them are saying to
Do
me.
you have any notes about the Kim Ye talk show? with
I do.
Lady Gaga.
Wrote too long.
Both times over too long.
Yeah.
To absolutely nothing.
I see why they bring it back because it's like a way to get
It's a great
Pop
impression
the
for
reference
Nassim.
in.
Nassim is fantastic.
But they lost. They I think especially since Abby Elliott left, they lost the trio of Kardashians, so they can't do all three of them in the impression anymore.
Well, they had all three of them there as like the Kardashian choir or whatever.
Christmas or whatever.
Yes.
Yeah. So who replaced Abby Elliott? Did they have that sister?
Cecily
Are you-
Noel Wells.
Are
Oh,
you
yeah,
supposed
Sally
to know
McDonald.
which one's which?
There's the main
Not
trio,
even.
which is Vanessa Bayer and Nassim Pedrad plays Kim. Vanessa Bayer plays someone, and then Abby Elliott played the one that everyone considers ugly in comparison to the other Kardashians.
I think that was Cecily, but
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
I think so too.
And
And
Rob
then
and
McKinnon
Bobby.
as Kris Jenner. Yep.
Yeah. And then Bobby Moynihan is Rob
Yes.
Kardashian.
Is he a brother? I
He's
haven't
their
seen
brother,
enough
yeah.
Kardashians. Okay. And he looked like he had been hit with a brick as a child or something. Just he looked spaced out.
Accurate.
Okay. That is the real Kardashian then. And then Lady Gaga was in there as an Apple genius.
Yes.
I did not enjoy that.
No.
She
You
was
enjoyed
playing. Like part of it was the nerd drag part of it,
Yeah.
and then another part of it was just she was
Wait, the nerd...
better suited as a straighter part, a straighter role.
What was the phrase you used, though? Nerd Drake?
Nerd drag.
Nerd drag. Oh, because I thought you had said nerd face at the
Also nerd face, that also works if you want to go in that direction.
Do you think they just picked that so that she as a host would have a skit that was amongst the best of videos?
Part of it.
I have the list of how many times hosts appeared in the best of. Hutcherson appeared twice. Norton appeared twice. Rudd and the Anchorman cast appeared twice, including the Goodnights. And then Faye, Gaga, Hathaway, Willis, Washington, and Cyrus all appeared once.
So is there anyone that isn't represented?
Goodman, Fallon.
Fallon is understandable, but Goodman, I think, is also a comment on that episode, too.
No! What? Yeah, they're just like, fuck you, Goodman, you're not getting the best of.
No, that's the SNL group saying, we understand that show was weak.
There's nothing that really stands out for best of.
Last Call.
Really
that was Lorne Michaels going, too
Last
much
Call,
Keenan.
I could have seen.
Last Call would have been the one sketch they could have shown.
I really loved the one where they're in the courtroom. I thought that was hysterical. I was watching it again last night, cracking up.
How much Keenan was in that sketch?
Yeah, exactly.
He was the judge.
He was the judge.
Of a courtroom sketch. I wonder why you found it so funny.
No, it was actually Taryn who was cracking me up.
Are you...
Taryn
part of me wondered, every time you giggle... you giggle every time we mention Keenan, and I'm not sure if it's because we're making fun of you for liking Keenan so much, or just saying Kenan Thompson's name makes you burst out into giggling.
I really like winding people up, and knowing how irritated it is for you guys, it makes me laugh. So every time...
I like to exaggerate how much I dislike... He's just not my favorite performer.
If you want to get rage about Keenan on this podcast, we need to have Matt on the podcast, because he will take up an hour and a half just yelling about Kenan Thompson.
Matt versus Leah on Keenan would be a great podcast episode.
Keenan on Keenan podcast coming soon.
Keenan on Keenan.
Let's get to a good sketch. How about that? The next sketch.
Let's go to a good sketch.
Yeah, the next one. Oh,
boys
highlight of the season.
It's a boy dance party.
Yeah, it was delightful.
Did you see Taryn Killam was talking about how the transition from Shake That Sack, where the guys are like just humping the air, which I'm kind of shocked got onto television.
Me too.
The outline.
That is very graphic.
A little bit. Yeah, because we know exactly what is making that shape. That is, yeah.
Do we, Rob? Tell us.
Okay, look. I didn't have to go there, but I ended up going there.
We were watching it last night.
But the transition from Shake That Sack to Shake Shack apparently got like an entire meal catered by Shake Shack to the SNL offices.
Amazing.
Nice.
So the Shake Shack liked to be compared to a guy's junk being thrown out in shorts.
Don't we all?
I know I would. I would.
Yeah, this definitely deserves to be on the best of the season. It's like probably my top 3 of the whole season so far.
Yeah, I would agree.
See, what I've been thinking for a while is that... So we're approaching season 40, right? And there might be some sort of retrospective where they were going to do it for 35, but apparently they didn't have the budget, is what I read. But
they did it at 30.
Kind of like they have those... the retrospectives where it's like, here's the top sketches from like this 5-year period.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know how they're going to incorporate... film stuff. We haven't really seen them do montages like that, best of montages, including digital shorts.
Mm-hmm.
But for film stuff, like that should definitely be included.
Oh, absolutely.
In the best of whatever this 5-year period is, like 2010 to 2015. I guess it'll be.
Yeah, when they did those primetime 2-hour specials, like they've had a bunch of those in the last couple of years. They did like best of the first half or the first decade, the 2000s. This should definitely fit in that kind of 10 to 20 era.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. What were we talking about?
All right, so on Weekend Update, there was a montage in the best of, including Drunk Uncle about
good,
featuring his nephew, played by Aaron Paul.
Yes,
who wanted to watch the new Breaking Bad episode.
Yes.
By the way, I don't know if anybody's talked about it. Breaking Bad's a really good show, you guys. I don't know if you guys have checked it out or heard about it. You should check it out.
Aaron Paul's my cameo of the season. He's my surprise sort of guest on the show.
He's my only, I think my only host draft to actually appear. So
This was also, they showed the debut of Jebediah Atkinson. Is it Atkinson?
Atkinson.
Yeah, that was in the best of.
Fantastic. Who appears, not 2 weeks later again?
Yeah.
Yeah.
3 weeks.
The press is maybe overhyping him as the next Stefan, but he was definitely a great new character.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I loved him in the Christmas one where everyone's just getting so worked up over Snoopy. Like, it's ridiculous. People are like getting...
What was the Snoopy joke?
That they killed the wrong dog. Family Guy killed the wrong dog.
I also loved, what was it, the Charles Dickens one where it was like 3 different ghosts. Looks like Tiny Tim's not the only one with a crotch.
I love most was when cast members on Update specifically acknowledged audience reactions. Like, ooh, you guys didn't like that, did you? Like,
he made a joke about Lincoln, didn't he? Like, Lincoln.
What, too soon?
I just love how offended people are getting from him. And because he does, because they start booing and stuff. And he's like, what are you guys doing?
The answer is clearly that Weekend Update characters along the lines of Jebediah Atkinson and Stefan work best when they are literally just one-liner machines. Just like a very vague outline of... They barely even have a personality when they come on, but it's just like, alright, he's going to make jokes about this specific thing.
Yeah. It's the same thing with Drunk Uncle, too. Just like going randomly off in different tangents.
Everybody's twerking 9 to 5.
Sophia Viagra.
Kids these days don't know the value of $1.
You got always when he talks about wanting to support white sports when he doesn't want to talk about football.
It's like there's
hockey and golf.
There's hockey and golf, and it's like, is that what people are watching? Somebody has to watch the white sports.
Yeah, they're just great joke machines. You just spotter any number of lines through them.
Those are the best Weekend Update characters. Next was Our Love. Josh Hutcherson. Oh, actually, sorry, going back 1 second. Did we all realize... My voice got really high. Did we know that Seth Meyers wears the same exact shirt and tie?
I did not.
Because they did a montage of update jokes, and he's wearing the same outfit every week. I think Cecily Strong might be wearing different tank tops underneath her blazer.
Over tank tops, Rob?
Or tank tops? I don't know. Blouse.
Maybe a blouse? He's more appropriate with a suit jacket?
Well, no, she's not wearing a blouse. She's wearing a low-cut kind of thing.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Sex sells, guys.
As we know from her sketch with Fallon.
Get her in that tank top with the blazer!
But yeah, that's the suit thing. When you tweeted
book.
About it was like, what? That can't be right. Oh my god, why would they do that?
He's always wearing the red tie, a white shirt, and a gray suit every single episode.
Is that like a football thing, like where guys don't wash their underwear?
He's a sports guy, yeah.
Somebody suggested that.
Maybe it's his good luck suit.
I don't think he was like that in the past though. Whether even last season, I want to say he probably wore different stuff.
Maybe it's a different suit each season.
Guys, is it gonna be really weird if he hosts late night and he's wearing the exact same thing?
It'll be amazing. Amazing.
We will go to the internet and blow this up.
What if he picks a really bad tie for the first night and then he's just stuck with that for the rest of the show?
Gosh.
For years. We should
It's
talk
the
about
suit
that,
you got
actually.
hired in.
I don't have that on the list of news, but we should talk about Fallon and Myers and the whole late night stuff a little later.
Sure.
Oh, yeah.
So Our Love, Josh Hutcherson.
Brilliant.
Yeah, this is one of those great, weird sketches.
Yeah.
Such a great concept that you hadn't even seen before, and yet, pulled it off amazingly.
And there's stuff built into the song, too, like when he mentions wanting to keep it on the down low, and Vanessa Byers suddenly like, wait a second. Just a natural story emerging from it. And then Kenan Thompson and Taron Killam busting out from the windows to harmonize and play the instruments.
It's one of those great showcases because you can just throw in a ton of cast members into it, which I just love seeing.
Also, something I didn't notice the first time was Nassim Pedrad and Aidy Bryant have lines referencing the how they're in the 80s.
Yes.
But they completely fell flat. Like, the audience didn't even notice, where Nassim Pedrad's like, we're all going to go to the 1980s mall.
But then was it Aidy who says she's going to text someone?
Yeah.
Aidy Bryant's like, I'll text you later. And it's like, what? I mean, I'll send you a written letter on paper delivered by a pigeon or something. Goodbye.
I mean, that had no reason for that to be in the sketch since it was firmly 80s.
And the audience
just
barely reacted. The audience didn't even catch the Nassim Pedrad joke whatsoever. It was like complete silence. But it was so good.
They either didn't catch it or they were like,
I loved it.
Or they were, what's the 80s? They're all like,
Yeah, that's why I feel like they had to throw in because, we're getting to that age where people watching SNL now don't know what the 80s look like.
Oh, God.
why would we? But actually, the
Do you want me to give you my social security?
What's your mother's
I just want to know
name?
our reference points for sketches. And if
My
we're
SNL growing up, when when I started watching myself, was Phil Hartman, Julia Sweeney, Victoria Jackson. That gives you a reference right there.
Mine was Andy Samberg, Bill Hader.
Oh, God.
Mine was Jimmy Fallon,
Mine
Will
was
Ferrell.
Jimmy Fallon, Will Ferrell.
Actually, I caught the tail end of the Jimmy Fallon years. I remember watching the Jimmy Fallon Goodbye episode and going like, what's the big deal? He's not really that great. Although I still didn't especially like him on Saturday Night Live, but he's a great late night host.
Oh, he's amazing.
Rob, I've also decided I want you every podcast to ask my age and just have me not answer you whatsoever.
Because
he still has not learned
in the
to
test
not ask a woman her age.
Last Rob.
In the test podcast, I asked her like, "Hold on, how old are you?" But you don't have to answer. I just want to know if you grew up on Kenan Thompson on Nickelodeon. That's why you have a reverence for him. And she was offended.
I wasn't. It was just silence. There was
just a surprised shock.
I gave you. I think I asked for an age range. I thought it was.
I am between 15 and 45.
The key demographic. There you go.
Yeah, exactly. Perfect.
Next was How's He Doing? The Obama discussion with Kerry Washington.
No. You skipped Baby Boss.
Oh, I didn't write down Baby Boss. All right,
Baby
let's
Boss.
talk about
That's
Baby
because
Boss.
it was awful. Rob did that
because it was amazing.
No,
Might
I'm
have
back,
been my
to,
favorite
I'm back
sketch.
to appreciating it. Like, the physical comedy
Exactly.
of it, like, was amazing. It's a great character. I don't know if the sketch overall... It was a one-joke sketch.
Yeah.
But the physicality of it was amazing. I can say that now.
Here's my thing with the physicality of it.
Yeah.
I was traumatized in my early 20s by an acting coach who did that same exact bit. Did the whole baby thing, and it freaked me.
No, hold on. Tell the story. Please tell the story.
But it's one of those things, like, I don't remember why she was doing it. I don't remember. It was in Paris.
Oh, it was a girl?
Yeah, it was a girl. It was in Paris, and she was American, but she always pretended like she couldn't remember American words. Like, that was, like, the person I was dealing with. Where she'd be like, oh, what's the word? Street! Yes, that's it. I'm so French.
And while she was doing this, she was doing baby action?
Yeah, she would, like, I don't remember why she did it, but it just scared the shit out of me.
Wait, hold on. Was she trying to impersonate a baby? Was she
Yes,
doing this
she was doing this, like, as a conscious effort to
I thought
look
you were
like
just saying,
a baby.
like, she actually... While she was saying, like, I don't remember American words. What is this word? Shirt,
and she was,
clothes.
like, grabbing
She was,
things.
like,
and,
grabbing at random things and, flapping her arms and hitting her legs.
Yes, that's exactly what was going on.
Okay.
It might be for me that I have a nephew who's a year old or so I've seen him do the exact same kind of physical movements that the character was doing that just made me laugh even more. So I go,
met my
nailed
friends.
it.
My friend
Because
just had a
it's
baby.
true.
My friends just had a baby, and I met him for the first time over Christmas, so that might have given me the perspective
There you
to
go.
rewatch it now and go like,
So
oh, that
this is
an
what a
amazing
baby
impression of a
does.
baby.
Oh.
Yeah.
See,
Oh,
I
yeah,
guess I'm
baby
also
creatures. What are they?
not impressed with babies, so to me it's not.
Leah hates children, loves Kenan Thompson. We're just dotting out her.
That's just going on my epitaph, like, done. Leah hated children, but
Leah
loved
Thompson, born an unknown year.
Leah
died
Thompson.
in
Leah Thompson.
2014. Wait, sorry, Leah Thompson.
He's a fan of Back to the Future, guys. He's a big fan.
I assumed he was marrying her off to Kenan Thompson.
I assume
That makes sense. That's why I said Leah Thompson.
No, I just become so
My mind
obsessed
just
with them later on that I have them put Leah Thompson on my
That you
grave.
changed your
so,
name to Thompson.
Yeah.
And then, so the pre-tape it, the Midnight Coterie of Sinister Intruders.
Brilliant.
Amazing.
So many great references in there.
And we've all read the blog post that, was it the DP did? The
Yeah,
director of
yeah.
photography did about how much effort went into that.
Oh God, yeah.
Because it's still done in a not even a 7-day turnaround, like a 3-day turnaround. It's insane.
And you don't kind of realize it when you're doing it, but it took them 4 writers because they basically pulled every reference they could think of for Wes Anderson, and they had like 3 days to do all this visual stuff.
Between that and writing and rehearsing the show, I don't know how they have time to do all these like fantastic and crazily set up set pieces for pre-tape
Did they
stuff.
have to actually build a set specifically with in mind that they need it to be completely symmetrical?
Yes.
Oh my God,
Wes
really?
Anderson does symmetrical shots. I think it's... Remember the shot of Edward Norton going like, kids, let's go into the panic room.
Yes.
And it turns over to the tent.
Yes.
That was a combination of... They had to build the sketch so that when he was in the doorway saying, we have to go into the bunker, that had to be symmetrical. And then they had to have the entire set built to 180 degrees at least so that they could do the camera turn. And then they had to set up the camera so that it stopped in the right place. And they had to do the lighting so that both at the beginning and end of that shot, everything was perfectly lit.
Wow.
Secret MVP of the Midnight Coterie of Sinister Intruders for me, John Milheiser.
Yes.
His delivery was just like completely perfectly soft-spoken.
My
And
own-
Drad as well, but...
My only 2 notes for the Wes Anderson sketch were masterpiece and then Milheiser.
Milheiser, he's just like, oh no, we do have to get we have to gather our weapons. Just the way he delivered it, which I cannot replicate. He was great in
Yeah,
that
fantastic.
2 lines.
I don't see Milheiser as like a breakout star ever, but I see him on the show for a good like 8,
20
9,
years.
10. Yeah, exactly.
Good support. For sure.
He doesn't show up often. He's bad in your point system, but when he shows up, he's doing quality utility work.
Exactly. He's there for a specific reason, not just there as a
His
filler.
John Cryer, for instance.
Oh, God,
Right.
yeah.
See,
That was-
I kind of never want to see John Cryer again.
Just for that fact, because he's John Cryer.
Not the character, just the person. You do not want to see John Cryer.
Not that-
Just replace Milheiser with John Cryer. Can
How
we
great
do
would it
that?
be if they shot an entire episode of 2.5 Men with Taron Killam's Ashton Kutcher and John Milheiser's John
I would
Cryer?
actually watch
And the
that.
same half man.
That would be amazing. They should do an entire episode.
I would
That'd be
actually watch that.
great.
That would be the first episode I would
Actually,
ever
no,
have
they've had
watched.
both of them, and they had both of them as like acknowledging the 2.5 Men connection in that Family Feud sketch from the Fallon episode. The
Yes.
really good Family Feud sketch with Timberlake playing Fallon. That
I'm
one.
kind of surprised that wasn't on the best of.
Exactly, yeah. But they haven't actually done a sketch where like it's a scene from 2.5 Men. I feel like they don't do that as much anymore. They might have used to do like
No.
actual.
Yeah, I don't remember the last time that I've seen them do like this is an episode of a TV show that exists, other than in like acknowledging it and like opening
maybe
pre-credits
film
or
stuff, girls.
yeah, girls, yeah.
But okay, so then it was We Did Stop, which I think kind of got forgotten by the internet in general. As
Yeah,
a really
that's
great sketch.
very topical of the time.
That's true.
It was,
The
it
government
was the
shutdown.
first breakout sketch of the season 2, I would say.
Yeah,
I
I
would
would
say
say
so.
so as well.
And Taron Killam's John Boehner, amazingly creepy.
Oh, so good.
So good.
When he's
And I
lying
actually-
down next to the guy and like kisses him on the chest,
And I forgot
and then the
his-
guy's like, "What the hell are you doing?" And then you go,
Yeah.
"Oh, don't worry, sorry." He just
I
backs
forgot
away.
his tight white outfit,
Yes.
and he actually turns around and you see his ass. At
The
one
first
point.
time we see his crotch in a high definition.
Yes.
Oh,
It's
wait,
been
have
a
we seen his
season
crotch
where-
in standard definition?
Yeah, no, that's
Depending
correct.
on your TV screens at home.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, mine would be standard.
And Miley Cyrus made for a very attractive Michelle Bachmann.
Very sexual, Michelle Bachmann.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that was probably the most attracted I've ever been to Miley Cyrus. I don't know why. I
Was
don't
that
know what
Michelle
says around
Bachmann?
me. Yeah.
That says a lot about you, Rob.
I
Says
want
a
to say
lot
it's
about
honestly
you.
because she's kind
do
of
you-
wearing semi-regular clothes, and she's wearing.
Do you ever,
she
like
has,
you and your
regular
girlfriend,
hair.
do you ever ask her to put on, like, Michelle Bachmann? Hey,
And I just-
Hey, baby, can you just put the Michelle Bachmann
Would
wig
that
on?
mean I'd have to put bronzer on and play John Boehner? Leah, I want this image to haunt you for the rest of your life. And also, I talk like this the entire time, like Taron Killam's John Boehner impression. We don't stop. We shut down the government. That sounds like I'm making fun of his impression for being bad, but I really find it funny.
It's very good.
Yeah. And then... Oh, and that was Brooks Wheelan as the creepy, super tall version of Uncle Sam. I just want to give a shout out to that. Because you forget it as soon as you stop watching it, but as soon as you watch it again, you're like, oh, right, that's in there. Just haunting the sidelines.
Uncle Sam mixed with Kid Rock.
Yes. And then finally the last sketch of the best of was... And the only good neighbor sketch, which I was kind of surprised by,
Me too.
was the ice cream joke.
Yep.
Where he kind of goes... I want to say kind of Spike Jonze into his own mind.
Yeah.
Eternal Sunshine kind of... Being John Malkovich kind of thing.
Maybe, what's the... Upstream Color. That sort of thing,
Oh,
too.
I haven't seen that. Okay.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
You should.
Where they go into their own mind once Beck Bennett makes the joke about needing an ambulance for all the sugar.
Yes.
Also, something I didn't see noted in many places, but I only found out because I follow him on Twitter. Do you guys know Britannic?
Yes, I do.
Britannic? I'm not sure how to pronounce
Britannic,
it, but
yeah.
it's the...
They were in the Joss Whedon's Much Ado movie. They played.
the two of them, and they're a great sketch group that does... They don't do much, but they have like a new YouTube sketch every few months or something, and they've built up a decent back stable now. But they did... They helped out on editing on that one, apparently.
Oh, really?
Interesting. I would say the better Good Neighbor sketch of the season would be the beer pong one.
That's what I was going to
Yeah,
say.
I really liked the beer pong one. The
Although
ice cream one, I watched it again last night, and I was just kind of like, I guess maybe I'm missing something. Because I feel like there is something there, but I feel like it's not getting through to me.
Although
The comedy is
again,
too
Taron Killam
inside.
being horrifying with the half-smashed ice cream cone sticking out of his mouth. Just covered in ice cream. Really horrifying. And then he spits out and is like, oh, I get it. But it was really horrifying.
It's like
Taron Killam is really good at riding line between straight man and then just turning on a
Weirdo,
dime
yeah.
and being
Yeah,
super
just
creepy.
being the super weird, bizarro guy.
I rewatched the Glee episode of Community over Christmas. Where he's in there as the Will Schuester,
musical
Matthew
teacher?
Morrison guy.
yeah.
And he turns on a dime from being like super cheery and that's the joke to like, oh, he is legitimately terrifying.
He is insane.
Yeah. You guys can listen to me or there's gonna be another bus crash. Great stuff. And then the goodbyes, which was kind of distracting because it was the Anchorman cast again, all in their Bill Brasky costumes.
Okay, so.
But the Bill Brasky sketch wasn't
not
the best
shown.
of, so I guess anybody tuning in was like, why is Will Ferrell looking like a creep? And
I hadn't even thought about that because I thought it's there for continuity because he did the hello, opening monologue. But
Yeah.
at the same time, it's true. There's so much costume at that goodbye that it's
it
really
has
distracting.
Keenan, Taron, Ferrell. I don't
All
think
in
Rudd
the-
was still in costume anymore.
Bill
but-
Brasky teeth.
Yeah. That Bill Brasky didn't make the best of.
No,
Because
No,
it
surprisingly.
sucked.
I wouldn't say it sucked.
it wasn't maybe on the level of past Bill Brasky's.
Maybe
Yeah.
Tim Meadows kicking up a stink caused him to worry about
We-
putting that on.
We don't want to anger Tim Meadows again.
Don't want him to
Although I
go on
also think-
Facebook.
what was it,
Everybody,
Adam-
Tim Meadows was really upset.
I was
Let's send him a
listening
fruit
to the
basket.
Fogelnest Files. Was it the Fogelnest Files? A podcast with Adam McKay, and he was talking about the Bill Brasky sketches have never really been popular either with audiences or even in the SNL offices. It's always... First, the internet gave it a second life, but even when they were doing them, it was just John Goodman and Alec Baldwin by themselves. Well, Adam McKay and Will Ferrell loved doing them, but John Goodman and Alec Baldwin were the ones who forced Lorne Michaels to keep doing them.
That's amazing.
Because every time they'd come back, it's like, so we're doing a Brasky, right? And Lorne Michaels like, oh, all right, we're going to do a Brasky. Guys, I nailed that Lorne Michaels impression. So that was the best of. That was all the sketches in the best of. We mentioned a few that we thought were missing. The twin bed. Family
Rhyme
Feud.
that it was not there.
Family Feud.
In the future.
Yeah, I feel like Family Feud should have been on there.
Any other Fallon Timberlake?
Oh yeah, I mean a lot of the Fallon Timberlake stuff was quality. I mean, Baby It's Cold Outside was it's a future classic, especially in the best of Christmas episodes.
It's going to be on every best of Christmas for the rest of time, probably.
Oh, you know what I really liked? I knew it wouldn't be on there, but the Rain Man.
The
skit,
Rain
Man?
Where they go into the hotel room and they tell them to count the money.
Oh, Edward Norton playing
Leah,
Rain
no.
Man.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is a really weird, deep cut. For considering the season is only 10 episodes long, that is probably the deepest cut you could probably make.
And it's because of Mike O'Brien, isn't it?
I think it's hilarious.
So let's talk
I
about the
also
newbies
really
then.
love the Armageddon sketch, which...
Or actually, Russell, do you want to go down points breakdowns, like for the special, and then talk about how the cast members have done?
I think points breakdowns for the specials, we pretty much sussed out, like, how well that went for everybody.
Farrow and Thompson were far and ahead.
100 points for Farrow and then 90 points for Thompson. 90 points is usually your good signifier for how much...
Episode.
Yeah.
And then Taron Killam was third.
For a
with like
strong
76,
episode.
right?
There's only 3 cast members who actually have gotten 90 points or more this season. Kenan Thompson, of course, in the John Goodman episode, had 104. Still yet to be matched. But can either of you... Can anyone guess the other two?
I would say Taryn.
I'd say Taryn.
Moynihan?
Yeah,
No,
Taron Killam was one of them. In the Bruce Willis episode, he got 90 points. But there's somebody that got 92.
I want to say Cecily just because I have her.
McKinnon.
McKinnon.
No, Vanessa Bayer got 92 points.
What? Good
In
for
the,
her.
Miley Cyrus episode, she got 92 points.
Wow.
Bayer has kind of fallen to the wayside with Strong and McKinnon coming in so strong, but she is a solid performer.
So good. She's always fantastic.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. She's a great cast member, but she's still one of those lower average cast members, too. Her and A.D. Bryant actually have an average of 32 points per episode.
That's pretty good. That's not bad.
Exactly.
I feel like AD's gotten a lot more play the last couple of episodes.
She has, because they found her strength, which is like the frustrated straight woman.
Yeah, like that game show sketch.
The game show sketch, the girlfriend talk show.
Every
the
girlfriend talk show I love.
I forgot which game show sketch you were talking about. The one where she realizes with every call a friend that her husband is like cheating on her.
Yes, exactly. How did he get there so fast?
Yeah. Oh, Mike, no.
Yeah.
So how are the newbies going then? We know Noah Wells is doing amazing.
Yeah, and then actually the newbies, the featured cast members, break up into 2 distinct sort of levels. There's like the 3 on top, and then there's the 3 under like a 20 average.
Wait, so hold on. Would Kyle Mooney be in the top one? Because he's tied with Beck Bennett.
Yeah, actually, he's Noel Wells has the average of 29 per episode, which actually puts her on the level of Bayer and Bryant.
Wow.
Yeah, and then Beck Bennett and Kyle Mooney are the other 2.
Suck it, Leah. Kyle Mooney is pulling in for me.
And
yeah, he's still below Beck Bennett.
Yeah, but he's I still
it's a
think
wash.
he has more potential for characters. than
You
Beck
go
Bennett.
ahead and think that.
He did.
He has
Although it was
really
acknowledged
weird
in the chat, his weekend update character in his first episode.
Angry
really fell
comedian.
did not catch on.
Just,
Like angry
yeah.
/ desperate. He definitely brought a really interesting tragic side to the like bombing comedian.
Mm-hmm.
I preferred Brooks Wheelan just being awkward Brooks Wheelan an update than that.
Yeah, me too.
That's true. That's
Of course, I just prefer Brooks Wheelan overall because he's pretty to look at.
Wait, I remember Brooks Wheelan being awkward Brooks Wheelan on Family Feud for representing Saturday Live on NBC. But
hey, that's a reoccurring character.
Ooh, bonus points.
I didn't realize that. No one did until now.
Was it tattoos he was talking about on Update?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just terrible tattoos.
Now I remember. Okay.
Oh, and yeah, Mike O'Brien's still at the bottom of that
Mike,
feature.
oh.
He's my weak link, unfortunately.
Do you think
3 strong players and Michael Bryan, who I still like. But
Yeah, actually, the featured cast members. It's interesting to also bring up that all but Beckett and Mooney, they're the only 2 featured cast members not to have a sub double digit point episode. If that makes sense, like.
So they've always scored over 10 points.
Yeah, at least 10
every
points.
episode. That's Mooney, Wells, and Beckett?
Yeah, so Brooks... No, actually, Wells actually has had a 5-point episode.
Can I ask something? Does anybody else always say Ben Beckett?
no, never.
That's just me.
I think
Yes.
so.
Beck Bennett is easier to remember than Ben Beckett.
Yeah. Ben Beckett's awkward to say for me. I don't know why.
He was
Both
Samuel
names are
Beckett.
awkward to say. Come on.
There's actually some really interesting, just interesting names for people this season, too. like Beck Bennett, Brooks Wheelan Brooks, as a first name, that's interesting. Noel Wells,
That's
with the
not an
umlaut on
interesting
top
name.
of
Sashir Zamata.
the... Yeah. That's
80 is a weird name. That's like a 90-year-old name.
Taryn is a weird name.
It's why
Taryn's
we
a
confuse
really
them
weird
for
name.
Arcade Fire band members.
Oh, that's true. They got a lot. They should have gotten a lot more out of that, considering all the weird names of Arcade Fire members and cast members.
Mm-hmm.
Future sketch.
Future sketch.
It would be a recurring sketch.
There you go.
80 Bryant, Taryn Killam, Nassim Pedrad. Actually, I've heard Nassim before. I swear I have. Beck Bennett, Noah Wells, Brooks Wheelan.
Now you're just naming everyone.
These are weird.
Just sound like
that's
Bob
how many weird names there
Duca.
are. That's how many weird names there are. It sounds like I'm listing the entire cast.
You're doing your Bob Duca impression right now. Noel. Beck.
Beck Bennett.
Russell, who was the highest point getter so far this season of the entire cast?
Highest point getter?
Yeah, of the cast members.
Did you total up all points?
I did. The highest point getter is actually, with the 595 points, Taryn Killam.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Good
he's
pick.
on my team. Woo!
Every 10 points sort of breaks up where the cast members stand. Taryn Killam is alone at 60, an average of 60.
Wow.
Wow.
And then there's 4 people at 50. So
I
Kenan
thought Farrow
Thompson.
and Thompson were ahead of him. I honestly did.
Yeah.
Farrow
See,
gets,
to
Farrow
make-
gets points every week for Obama in the opening. That's alone like 20, especially if he says live from New York, isn't it like
Yeah.
20, 30 points?
Right, like otherwise he'd be on like the Bay or Bryant level, but he's actually because of, I think, Obama.
But he's
got
done really well this season.
Average of 41.
This is the first season I feel like he's actually been used as a regular person a lot.
I purposely
It's
didn't have him. He was low on my list pre-picking the draft because he was only in like 2 sketches a night every year. Every
This
night
was a
last
breakout
year.
season.
Yeah, for sure.
He was my first pick.
Right.
Prognosticator.
And you were smart for that.
But I didn't get him.
It's interesting, yeah.
Because
It's
I got
interesting to
overly
know.
excited. I had written his name down and then got overly excited and yelled out Keenan for some reason, which is how I ended up with Keenan Thompson.
This is what she says whenever she's excited about anything.
Kenan! I like Kenan!
Keenan
My Leah
Thompson.
impression.
Wait, no.
Leah, you've done some great work this year. We're going to give you a bonus at work. Woo! Kenan Thompson!
Leo, will you marry me? Kenan!
She becomes Southern when she says the voice as well. Do we want to
And
talk
you-
about musical guests?
Oh, yeah. Why
Well,
not?
before we get to that, who is the lowest point getter of the cast?
Mike O'Brien.
Mike O'Brien.
You don't
Without
have to be
question.
excited about it. You don't have to go, Michael Bryan! Kenan! Woo!
Yeah, Mike O'Brien only has 157 points
Oh.
overall,
You're killing me, Mike.
He's my dud.
Ah.
Yeah,
which means Kenan almost got as much points as Mike has this season in one episode.
Jeez.
Oh, don't. I mean, come on.
I'm just saying. Is all I'm not saying. I'm just saying.
So wait, does that mean Leah's affinity for Mike O'Brien outranks her excitedness for Kenan Thompson making so many points?
Ooh, it's a Sophie's choice.
It is the Sophie's choice of Sophie's choices.
Of SNL podcast.
No, that doesn't make sense, Leah. You tried. Musical guest. Who was the... I think the only one I watched... No, wait. I watched Eminem all the way through, and I watched Justin Timberlake all the way through.
You didn't watch Arcade Fire all the way through.
You didn't watch Monet?
I'm not huge on
Jim.
Reflector.
I only listen to them enough, unless I really, really love them, to see if I pick the right songs.
I quite
I-
enjoyed.
Judging by the
Nobody
words,
does.
this is the right
Nobody ever
song.
does.
No.
Has anybody correctly guessed the 2 songs ever?
Yes,
I did once.
I did once.
did.
I think the first episode.
I think
Yeah,
I did
did you get-
twice.
How many points do you get for that, Russell, if we correctly guess the songs that they're going to perform that week?
Well, you had 5 points for the first song, and because the second song is a little bit more unpredictable, it's not your current single, etc., you get 10 points for that.
And maybe once... Every week, maybe one person redeems that second song.
Yes.
'Cause we're all just randomly choosing songs from the album, from iTunes singles. It's
Let's say
impossible.
everyone's
to
looking at Wikipedia the day of.
It's
saying,
impossible to
you know,
predict.
this-
I've had 2 times where I had the songs reversed, and that pisses me off. That's
Well,
horseshit.
That shouldn't be happening because the
Rob.
bigger single is always the first one.
Rob, did you go
But
to
I
a Lady
never-
Gaga fan site?
Yes, there was a Lady Gaga fan site that actually said... It didn't have a source, but it just said
Yeah.
she will be performing these 2 songs.
And you're like, well,
Yeah, and I
think
got
Matt-
it right.
I think
got it
Matt
right.
saw the same thing.
yeah.
But then I went to my girlfriend's sister for...
I love the girlfriend's sister.
She never gets it right, though.
Don't trust that.
Stop going to her.
I will. She failed me on Haim. She failed me on One Direction. She's huge into One Direction.
Now she's cut off. She's just cut off.
Timberlake was a great performance.
I mean, how many times did she
Timberlake
give you the
was.
wrong answer and you kept using them? That's
Only
on you,
twice.
man.
Calm down.
Timberlake was probably my second favorite performance after Arcade Fire.
Really? Arcade Fire?
Hey, it's just a reflection.
Ugh.
That wasn't even a correct usage of lyrics. It didn't even make
Just
sense
reflection,
in context.
reflection. Just there you go.
Timberlake was one of my favorite
Timberlake was the only one I watched
songs
fully
of his
both
year.
songs.
I think that song's called Reflector.
It is.
Okay.
With a K, which
a
annoys
K.
me for some reason.
They're just choking on their own coolness. I swear to God, it's absurd. I couldn't even take them seriously watching that performance because I was just laughing hysterically.
This sounds like I'm making fun of you, but I'm not. Do you think their like Grammy wins and stuff has gone to their head?
I just feel like you play to a certain audience, right? And you have to keep
And
going
that audience
further
is-
and further with being like douchebag cool people.
And
wouldn't
that
say
audience is
douchebag
Madison Square Garden, filled with people in suits or costume and nothing else. You're
They're
not
u-
allowed to not
They're
wear
uber
suits or costumes.
hipsters. They're uber hipsters who now have tons of money because of their Grammy too.
And can ask
I'm
their
not saying
audience to wear
that.
costumes.
I'm not saying that their music's bad.
And I'm not saying that hipsters-
I've never seen them perform before. I have never seen them ever before. And so me watching them on Saturday Night Live for the first time ever, I found absolutely hysterical because I had no idea how silly they were.
You're missing out. Oh, you're missing out. Did you not
I
enjoy
like
the
their
where the-
music. I
Yeah.
like their music. I don't like the package that it's presented to me. Because I can just enjoy music. I don't need to be sold something. And Arcade Fire is trying to sell me.
Leah going off on the entire music industry right now. I like the music. I don't like the package.
Dropping
I don't
the
like being
mic.
sold an idea of a musician.
Leah out.
And then there was Arcade Fire, Miley Cyrus, Katy Perry, Janelle Monáe, Eminem. I was upset Eminem didn't do Rap God because it's his best song in maybe forever.
Was
I
he
can't-
reading cue cards?
I think he was just like intensely looking down. Though
I
he
didn't
might
notice.
have. He might
Because
have.
I watched his last night, because I don't normally watch the musical guest at all. I skip right
Me
over
neither.
them. But I watched Eminem's last night, and I just kept looking, going, is he reading these off of cue cards? Like,
Yeah.
I honestly thought that he was reading his little rapides on a...
It was a very low energy choice.
Yes.
Though I was very impressed by the Rick Rubin appearance. Rick Ross. Rick Rubin. Now I'm just messing it
Rick
up.
roll.
Rick Roll.
It was Rick Rubin.
Yeah.
That was Ravishing Rick Rude.
Ravishing Rick Rubin. Thank you.
And Skylar Grey. Don't know who that is.
Oh, I like Skylar Grey. I didn't know who that was.
Okay.
Speaking
Just
of,
'cause I have
Janelle
heard
Monáe.
this.
It was
Oh,
so
by
I
the way-
good.
loved her. My favorite. Janelle
Something I
Monáe.
completely forgot. R. Kelly showed up for the Lady Gaga performance.
Yeah, that
That's
was
right, yes.
horrible. Was that not horrible?
That was horrible.
Dude,
I mean, that was surprisingly low production value for Lady Gaga, too.
Yeah.
At least
Her
Katy
and
Perry
Katy
had
Perry.
plastic trees out.
Can we just have Timberlake perform every show?
Oh, can't we?
With the laser show and...
And the hair.
And his
Yeah,
laser
like-
pigeon.
The laser stuff was a huge step up from the normal production values for a musical guest.
Oh, yeah. I think we were talking about it at some point, and the only one that really matches that would be Kanye
Kanye?
West. Yeah.
That performance of Power he did years ago with the dancers all in white against a white background.
Yes.
And they
Yeah.
turn down the saturation or up the
That was-
power
yeah.
rating. I still watch that. It's so good. Okay, fine, Leah. Laugh at
No,
me.
I'm laughing because I love how it sounded like a confession.
I still watch that, and it's so good.
I still watch that late at night.
Whispered.
I just like how
In my
I was
dark bedroom.
expecting you to
No
follow it up with,
pants.
say something. And you did. You went, okay, Leo.
Because you were laughing. Next.
We're gonna laugh at you.
The next few the next few hosts have been announced. I combined hosts with musical guests, so I said ghosts.
Ooh, the next few ghosts have been allowed.
That'd be amazing.
The ghost of Drake, the ghost
Oh.
of Jonah Hill, and the ghost of Melissa McCarthy.
Isn't the ghost of Drake wheelchair Jimmy?
Oh.
That's Drake and the ghost of his legs.
Oh.
I know that reference because I Wikipedia'd him.
Degrassi. But yeah, Drake is an interesting host.
No one had Drake on their draft, right?
I don't
Why
think you could
would
guess
they?
that.
Somebody had Jonah Hill and somebody had
Yes.
Melissa McCarthy.
Two people.
Who had
agree.
Jonah Hill?
Leah had Jonah Hill.
And I had
Leah.
Melissa McCarthy.
Leah did. Keaton Thompson.
Kenan Thompson.
Kenan Thompson.
Yeah, Jonah Hill. That was a good pick for Leah. Lady Gaga was a little bit more of an obvious choice because I think that was rumored to be announced, but we didn't quite know when she would actually host.
Well, you've been Leah. Your first two choices have been selected so far. Lady Gaga and Jonah Hill in order were your choices, which means
Number 3.
number 3 is Ben Stiller. Then Mindy Kaling.
Mindy
is gonna be making an
Kaling.
appearance.
What?
Ben Affleck and apparently Donald Glover will be hosting the season finale.
I think he's going to... He is an inside shot for musical guest. He knows people.
Probably.
It's true.
I think Donald Glover. I don't think he's a bad choice. He
I
does
think
know
Donald
people
Glover just
within.
approaches the Saturday Night Live crew
He just-
all
he's
sad, and he's just like,
Yeah,
guys,
guys,
can I
Tugging at
please
his
perform?"
grown out hair.
I know I used to be a comedian, but I'm really sad that I'm not
He used
performing on the
to
show.
write 30 Rock, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was a writer.
And he guest starred on 30 Rock as young Tracy.
Yeah.
And a few other walk-on roles when he was working there.
So I don't know. Suck it. It's possible.
He's not going to host. He's too sad to host now.
He's too sad.
He doesn't smile ever. That's his new persona. Russell, did you want to talk ratings a bit?
Ratings. It's been interesting to see that there's no 5.0 ratings this season. There's been a lot of 4.9s, a lot of on the edge. That 5.0 share.
Really,
sort of the-
Jimmy Fallon and Justin Timberlake.
Fallon
yeah,
and Timberlake hit
except for-
6.3.
Yeah,
Oh,
except
okay.
for Fallon and Timberlake, they got 6.3. But last season there were, I believe, 4 different people
What's
that
that
went
number
over
mean
5.
now? Is it the percentage of households watching TV who are watching it?
Exactly.
No. I mean, let's be fair. That rating system's highly flawed.
Yes,
they
I
put
just-
Yeah,
chips.
it's still Nielsen.
What
That's
does
true.
the Nielsen's... What number is this referring to the Nielsen's assigning?
It's whoever they put chips in their televisions.
Yeah. Yeah, it's
I actually got
who
the-
have their TVs on at that time who are watching that show.
Yeah.
Actually, it's more... Well, at least... So my family got contacted for the Canadian system a few months ago, and it's still write down everything and note it in a journal.
That's so...
So that's
God.
That's how you know why certain shows do better than others, because if it appeals to a young demographic of people like me who don't want to write down every single show
They
and
won't.
channel they were watching,
But
and
we'll
what time-
podcast about it.
Yes. Well, I just have to talk in front of a microphone. I don't have to use my friggin' arms and wrists.
So
but,
you feel the same way about writing that I feel about reading.
Yeah, we almost make a full person.
Almost.
And do we want to talk about Fallon and Myers?
Like,
Who's Myers?
It's an
Seth
interesting... Yeah, it's an exciting part. Exciting part of the year
Fallon
coming
is
up.
probably going to be
Oh.
great in tonight's show.
Yeah, he's a perfect personality, I think, for it.
He fits it a lot better than Conan ever did, and I love Conan.
Can I just say, I really miss actor Fallon. I miss
Really?
him. Yeah, I miss
Well,
actor
she loves
Fallon.
actor Thompson, so that makes sense.
But so you enjoyed Fever Pitch?
She was
See,
a big fan of Taxi.
here's the thing.
Exact Taxi.
I think, romantic comedies in general are a pile of shit. So I don't mind having, Jimmy Fallon being a piece of shit romantic comedy. It makes it a little bit more enjoyable to me.
That's,
So we bring
that's
so
how much
much-
you think of Jimmy Fallon.
So
You
much
want
great
to be a piece
energy
of
and
shit.
positivity to late night too.
He is. He's great.
He
at
is.
that.
He is great. As
Oh, yeah. And he's
I didn't expect anything, and he is great.
He's a
I'm
fan
curious-
of late night. You can
Yeah,
tell.
exactly. I'm curious to see what kind of dry appeal, which I think is what Seth Meyers has, what he brings to the late night show.
I think he's perfect for late night. I don't think he'll ever make the transition.
Oh,
No,
yeah,
I
no.
don't think so
Yeah.
either.
Along the
I don't
same
think
lines
he
of
wants that
Conan. He's maybe a
Exactly.
little too niche for the Tonight Show.
Yeah.
He doesn't have a lot of up energy in the way that Fallon does. He's much more of a talk to the camera, and I mean it's why he does update, not sketches.
But
Yeah.
Fallon could just import his show to the Tonight Show time slot and not change a single thing.
Oh,
and it's probably gonna
seamless,
be
yeah.
great.
I want to bring up an interesting point about Seth Meyers' late night show.
Yes.
They were talking about how he's going to do a lot more sketch work, or like continue that same amount of Fallon type sketch work.
That doesn't seem like his forte.
Exactly. So I think because he's an 8G and SNL's just an 8H, I wouldn't be surprised if they, have a stable of SNLers coming over. Yeah.
I thought they were saying that he was going to do more political stuff.
And that too, yeah.
It was going to be somewhere between a late night show and The Daily Show or Colbert.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
so
I think we talked about he's cutting out, like, he doesn't want to have a band, he's not going to have, like, that kind of staple late night stuff.
That's
the
probably
couch
the right
band.
choice when you're following the freaking roots.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
No one
By the way,
follows the roots.
can we talk about how none of us thought the Roots would still be here 5 years later?
Yeah, no.
I remember discussing that. Yes, no, not at all.
Yeah, I'm really impressed with the Roots. The Roots are amazing.
Oh,
And
yeah.
apparently they commute into New York every day.
Yeah, they go from Philadelphia. That's insane.
But they just work on their albums on the bus, and that's why they put out like 3 albums since the show started.
Jeez.
They are the hardest working band in late night.
Yeah.
And actually, a bit of prognosticating, too. Since Myers is leaving, and Cecily is going to be alone for now, that we know, at the weekend desk, I don't think that's going to last. I don't think she's going to do the Myers, like, sitting there at the desk alone for, like, a season or two. Mm-hmm. Who do we think is going to be her co-host?
I would say kill him, but...
I want McKinnon.
He's too busy, I think.
Well, yeah. I would say that, but then they also took Cecily off of characters when she was killing it with Girl You Shouldn't Have Talked To at a Party.
But Killen is their lead man, and I think McKinnon is their lead female cast member, too.
I would say Cecily is tied for lead female, though.
Oh, that, not anymore necessarily.
Work.
Yeah.
McKinnon does more character work. Cecily Strong is more of the every woman.
Yeah, I think, and because she's doing Weekend Update, that sort of like moved her into that position more.
Oh, okay.
But it's true with the character work. I would say, actually, Mike O'Brien is not a bad choice.
We'll have a couple doing Update.
Oh my god. Or, even better, Beck Bennett would be a good...
I thought Leah was pushing for Beck Bennett, right?
I think Beck Bennett is kind of an obvious choice. I don't know that Mike O'Brien... he has the voice, yeah. He has kind of the whole demeanor for that.
I'm surprised you're not pushing for Keenan.
Keenan just has so much talent and energy. I don't think that putting him behind a desk would do him justice.
He has so many bartenders to play.
Bartenders and game show hosts and
people
Steve
on the phone.
He does play a lot of people on the phone.
He does. How can we get like a counter for the rest of the season of how many times he shows up via split screen?
Yeah, split screen, and there's Keenan.
Realistically, though, if Beck Bennett was not a comedy performer, he'd be a small town news anchor, wouldn't he?
Yeah, I would. Yeah. Or a furniture salesman.
All right. I think we're good then. So we'll meet back next week and we'll talk about the Drake episode. We'll see.
I can't wait to hate everything about it.
Drake episode. Well, Toronto. You're so good with Toronto, though. So excited.
Yeah, gotta go to the Canadian references.
Mm-hmm.
We did talk about how he's not hosting as a rapper or as an actor. He's hosting as the ambassador for the Toronto Raptors. His monologue will be in a sales pitch with PowerPoint for the Toronto Raptors.
PowerPoint. Really on the cutting edge.
Wait, I thought he was going to be dressed up as the mascot.
That'd be
just
great.
Holding the head in his arm?
Yeah.
Oh, God.
What if
like
his monologue... Trophy? What if instead of coming
like
out through that door in the monologue when it's like, and now Drake, he just runs through the audience to in the mascot costume? It'd be amazing.
It's that or the theme from Degrassi, Take Your...
Running around in a mascot, pumping the audience up to, I don't want to... No, wait, that was Dawson's Creek. What's the Degrassi theme? Whatever it
and
is.
I'm the American.
I know I can make it through.
Yeah.
Lots of singing.
I can sing the original Degrassi theme from the 80s.
How old are you?
That's what I was going for. Yeah.
All right.
My SNL reference was, Phil Hartman, so that tells you.
So we'll meet back here next week for the Drake episode, and it should be fun. Russell, do you want to plug anything?
Trivia Club is every Wednesday at Cardinal Rule. That's 5 Roncesvalles Avenue. It's every second Monday of the month at Hitch. That's in Leslieville. Look it up on Facebook. And first Tuesday of every month is at Handlebar. The next trivia club there is going to be called R. Kelly Kapowski.
Nice.
Thanks.
Nice.
All right, so that's it. We're going to come back for the Drake episode next week. Should be fun. Thank everyone for being here. Brian, thank you.
Catchphrase.
Russell.
Thank you.
And Leah, you get the last word. Choose a word.
My likes to be Titanic and Steve Buscemi. No?
That was a weird choice. Thanks, everyone. Bye.
Thanks, Rob.
I just wanna use your love tonight.